is real. The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yohana is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200 and enjoy fresh land under grip in the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there in Shalom.
Captains on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Seriously, you're looking for a Christ man, one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on Congo.
I don't like no soldiers in the Spirit of the Lord. We don't like no soldiers.
Saint, black, Hispanic, Native, they hate you as the same. Hate Christ and they image, hate you as a slave. God ain't all love. Scriptures say he hate African soft niggas. They know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell, totally connected to the same. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King's dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gonna work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of war. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shot. On my life, I want to be a gangster like a child. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí. Lord Commander General Yohana Isupk. This is what Commander General Yohana did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib. I'm married to this work. You want to serve the Lord? He ain't in the Christian church.
That's right. That's right.
Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures. Ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. You BK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard, they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And another blasphemy of them. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yohana, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Hey, Shalom, what's going on? Preaching off the 1000, Ashai. I'm here to let you know about the Chicago Street Team. We in the building. We finna get it in. We got one of the main men of the Chicago Street Team, none other than...
Hey, Shalom. Precinct Officer 1000 Mayad, Isupk Chicago, part of the street team, you know what I'm saying? Under Captain Marquardt, under Officer 5000 Lamakiala, you know what I'm saying?
Most High in Christ. Real quick, sir, if I could. Oh, it's a lot. If I could. So, with it being the holiday season right now,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I want to know how you feel about, like, why do people in this world celebrate Christmas so hard? And, like, knowing that Santa Claus is not real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just want to know how you feel about that.
You know what? It's conditioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have been conditioned to believe that lie. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to live a lie than to believe a lie than it is to live the truth. You know what I'm saying? So they've been lied to their whole life. They've been lied to their kids. Their parents have lied to them. So it's easier to keep that lie going than to admit that you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And for them to stop celebrating Christmas, they'd have to admit that they was wrong their whole life. Their parents was wrong. Their grandparents was wrong, so on and so forth.
That's heavy. That's
yeah.
heavy. Now, with that being said, why don't we celebrate Christmas? Or why don't, like, the UPK, why we ain't celebrating Christmas?
Hey, that's a hell of a question. Well, one is unlawful. You know what I'm saying? Number two, man, if you think about our forefathers, everybody want to talk about the ancestors, right? Think about what your forefathers was doing on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You had some of them that was on the plantation that had a good master, you know what I'm saying? And they might get some hand-me-down shoes and hand-me-down clothes and can eat, you know what I'm saying, more meat off the bone. You know what I'm saying? But then the rest of our brothers and sisters were sitting on the plantation worried about getting traded as Christmas presents, getting snatched away from their family. You know what I'm saying? Our sisters were worried about master coming in drunk off a little bit too much eggnog and violating them. You know what I'm saying? Christmas is not a happy holiday for our people. It never has been. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a horrible holiday with a bunch of tragedy behind it. And the UPK knows the true history of Christmas, knows all the horrors and tragedies behind it. We refuse to be like these heathens.
Damn right.
Most
High in Christ. I appreciate you for that, sir. Man, I'm looking forward to this interview.
Hey, we're finna do our thing. Yo, watch out for the ISUPK Chicago Street Team, man.
Stay in tune.
Coming soon.
I believe in the truth. The truth made me a man. And I raised my son in Israelite customs. I gave him scriptures, but I told him not to teach. He finds an Israelite group, not one West. Starts going to classes with them, and they're staying out late. And I didn't protest. 2 months ago, they tried taking him to their camp spot. They make him buy strong drink, and they try to make him teach. Respectfully, he declined, and he kept his honor. So they beat him like an animal. When I went to the hospital, his nose is broken. His jaw's wired shut. He couldn't even weep through the pain. But I wept. Why did I weep? Because he's the future of my house. A dutiful son. And I will never believe in the truth again. So I go to the Purple Police like a good Israelite. Because these are the men I was bringing to council. And they tell me there's nothing they can do because he's an unrepentant Israelite. An unrepentant Israelite. They got raised up that very day. And I stand in the congregation like a fool. So I told my rib for justice. We go to the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana.
So why do you go to them first and don't come to me?
What do you want from me? Tell me anything. Just do what I beg you to do.
What is that? That I cannot do.
I'll give you anything you ask.
We've known each other for many years, and this is the first time you came to me for counsel or help. Can't remember the last time you invited us to your house for a feast day, even though my wife made your son's last Passover call. Let's be real. You never wanted my friendship. You were afraid to be one West.
I wasn't ready to put on all black.
I understand. But you found peace in the world. And you made money, good money, bought a house, and you went to the fake Israelite group and thought you didn't need us. But now you come to me saying, the bar, give me justice. But you don't even ask for respect or my friendship. You don't even think to call me captain. Instead, you come to the school on a Sabbath day and ask me to unalive for money.
I asked for justice.
That's not justice. Your son is still alive.
Make them suffer then, as he suffers. How much should I pay you?
Ben Israel. Ben Israel. Why do you disrespect me? Don't you know that if you would have came into the school a lot sooner, that the Lord would have destroyed those men that harmed your son? You would have been honorable, man. Your enemies would have been the Lord's enemies, and they would have feared you.
Be my teacher. Captain.
That's the law. There will be no violence. But if you want to be a trooper, make sure you start wearing all black. That's boots, pants, headband, or scarf. And make sure you pay your time.
Come.
All right? So, also, make sure that you come to the Lord's 55th annual Passover by the Isupk. That's in Durham, North Carolina. $200 an adult. Kids are free. All right? With that, shalom.
Everything good with you? Tell me about the damn shit. Tell me how police searching for a switch. Tell me about the damn war. Tell me trying to blame you and then you know. Tell me about the damn flesh. Tell me about
We out here one South Carolina connection.
So the North and the South come together, goddamn.
All the time, goddamn. One way. Lord can deliver us, man. Right. They can bring us back to our nation, man, to our identity, to our strength. And they for sure brought us back to our brotherhood. Because your king wasn't no bitch.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is Captain DeBar Moth, Isupk, Wisconsin. Man, it's good to see y'all again. Another week. Of course, it's Black History Month. How in the hell could you possibly condense all of the Black history? And I don't mean like African history or so-called African or Hamite history, or any other type of Black race. What I mean is, how do you condense so-called Hispanic and Native Indian culture? How could you give that a month? You can't give it a month. You need to give it a book, namely this book. This is Black history, man. This is brown history.
That's right.
You understand? This is so-called red man history.
Right.
You understand? Black Hispanics and Native Indians. Our history is the Bible.
That's right.
You understand? So we definitely gonna need to go over Black history. Things that made Black history, like Alba Bivens going to camp, standing for the truth against adversity. His adversity was called Islam at the time. You understand? We're gonna talk about that tonight. How the school was founded, because the foundations of the Israelite School of UPK is Black history, and it can be found in the Bible. All right. I know y'all wanted to find out where can you find the ISUPK in the Bible. It can be found in the Bible, and we're gonna give you some history on it. And then we got to understand what Black history means. Are we talking about the history of just our sojourn or our capture, our slavery here in America? Is that what we saying Black history is? You understand? Is that what we saying? No, because our history was well beyond or well before what so-called modern Black history is today. So we'll go over that. Also, my topic today is also rank, and rank being found in the Bible and how necessary it is to have rank. You understand? Of course, all of us being brothers, of course, that's what the name of the game is. But how can brothers dwell together in peace without order? How can brothers dwell together in peace without principles?
Right.
How can men dwell together as brothers without history and a pedigree?
Right.
You understand? Structure. This is something that Moses knew. He found out very painstakingly, though. But it's something that he found out that we definitely need. And so, because we need that, we need to go over that as well. And then any questions in the room and any questions online, we'll be able to get to those. All right. For Black History Month, for sure, I definitely brought my whip today. I brought my scourge. In the Bible, this is called a scourge. We'll talk about a scourge too in the Bible, how our King Yahushua, who you call Jesus Christ, he used one of these to whip people up out of the temple. Shalom, priest. He used one of these to whip people out of the temple. You understand? When they was doing all of that underhanded business in the Lord's temple. All right. So we'll find that scripture too. I want one of you brothers to find that scripture where Christ had used the scourge to whip them up out of there. And I just want y'all to know, when it comes to this scourge, I am no rookie with it. You understand? Could put a little bit more practice in, but when it comes to the scourge, I can hit your back and tear it open. You understand? I want all my my oppressors out there to know one day your day is coming to feel this whip. And Captain DeBarmouth will be hitting you with this whip on your back when you get out of line. You understand? You get out of line, you say the wrong thing, you look at a black woman with the wrong intention, you look at a Hispanic woman with the wrong intention. If I just remember what you did to my people, I'm gonna look for a reason, and you're gonna give me a reason I know because you don't like the sun on your back. Well, guess what? This is all about Black history, and that's why I got this. Because there's a future Black history where we hold the scourge, we hold the whip. Those days are coming. You can tell by how you see the things that's happening today in the media. All right. So we got any questions in the online? No questions online. Excellent. Any questions in the room? All right, go ahead.
Let me get Genesis.
Go back to the beginning then. Let me time travel back to the beginning.
Chapter 5, verses. No, it's lucky. Yeah, chapter 5, verses
21.
23 through 24.
All right, read.
All right, Genesis chapter 5, verse 23. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. 24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. So I need to break down what it meant when it said he walked with God. Was it literal that he walked with God? And what does it mean when he said he took him?
All right, excellent. So, let me ask you a question. Do you walk with God? How do you know you walk with God?
By following the statutes and commandments.
That's how you know that Enoch walked with God. Because they had the law, statutes, and commandments back then. And they taught them, and a man had to be an example. So Enoch was a prime example on how to live in the path that the law, statutes, and commandments take you. You understand? Don't think like how Christians do. Christians would think that he was walking in a land, and the Lord, you understand, was standing right next to him. Again, it says he walked with who?
With God.
With what?
With God.
Yeah. What does the word God mean?
Power.
So he walked with what?
Power.
There you have it. This is a man who walked with power. What does that mean? Can somebody break that down for me? A man that walks with power. Can you give me an example of what it looks like for a man to walk with power? Even if you know a man today that walks with power. And when you see him, you say, that cat is a powerful cat. Who? Give me an example. Go ahead, sis.
I would say General Yohana.
I would say that too. General Muhammad. Definitely. All these generals that we got, that we're fortunate that the Lord raised up to be men of reputation. They walk in the law. So they walk in power. And when you see them, you know they some powerful cats. You understand? So, yeah, those are the type of men that walk with power. Right? You brothers, y'all walk with power. When regular people see y'all, they say, oh, man, who are these cats? They know we different. Even by the way we walk. It's like a spirit that be on us when we walk. Something simple as walking, ZQ. They look at us like, oh, who do you? Damn. You walking with power. And if they had a conversation with you, they would know how powerful you actually are. So, yes, you walking with power. And then read on.
And he was not.
And he was not. What does that mean? And he was not. This is a man who walked with power. And he was not. Sis.
Do it mean he wasn't weak or?
Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Someone else want to try to give it a shot. Read it again, please.
And Enoch walked with God, and he was not.
What does that mean, y'all?
He was not. Did Jesus walk?
Jesus walked. Jesus walks. Good. Nah, Jesus walks. Enoch, man.
Like,
Enoch, priest. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like either two things, that he's not God, or I don't know.
Nobody else want to give it another shot before I tell y'all what it meant. Says
That he wasn't following the laws?
that's not what it means. All right, for time's sake, I'll tell you what it means. Read again.
And Enoch walked with God, and he was not.
Meaning, then there was a time when he just didn't walk anymore. He was not alive. He was not. You understand? How do we know that that's what that means when he said he was not? Go ahead.
Because God took him.
There you have it. So does that answer your question? What it means? And God. And so read the next verse.
And Slakia. And Messiah.
No, what was the spot where it said?
24.
All right, read 24.
And Enoch walked with God, and he was not. God took him.
For God took him. What happens when the Lord takes you? Go ahead.
You die. He takes you.
Yeah, you are now unalive. You are now a person without any animation in your body anymore. There's nothing to make your heart give that electrical pulse. You have no spirit anymore. The Lord takes your spirit. You understand? So that's what that means. Enoch was not. The Lord took him. He died. He was unalive. He passed on. All right. Any more questions? Does that answer your question?
Oh, okay.
No sweat. Any more questions?
My answer, but I was holding the scripture that you wanted where Yahweh braided up the cord.
Okay, yeah. We about to get into that one. As a matter of fact, that's actually great Black history. Let's get into that now. Let's go into that. Let's get that there.
This is John chapter 2, verse 15.
And I got a new cracker on here too. They call this part the cracker. That little string right there. That's the cracker.
That's probably something that Yahweh shall braided up or something.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is all braided leather too. You understand? Go ahead.
It's like you said, John and what other one?
John chapter 2, verse 15.
Go there, which let me get in my vehicle and time travel to John.
Oh God. 2 and 15.
Yeah, I know John. All right, let's go.
Colonel Khan. John chapter 2, verse 15.
Start at 13.
Colonel Khan. John chapter 2, verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand. And Yahweh well, let me just say how it's here.
Yeah, how it's written.
And Jesus went up to Jerusalem.
Just so you know, we only reading this like this so that y'all understand that Jesus is Yahweh Shai. But the next time you see it, always say Yahweh Shai.
All
right, let's go.
And verse 14. And found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15. And when he had made a scourge, made a scourge of small cords, he drove them out. He drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep, and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables.
That's the history behind this scourge. The reason why I like to hold this one is because to me, this is exactly. It brings me closer to our King. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whenever I crack this joint, it sounds like a shotgun and breaking the sound barrier and whipping. It literally can whip ass. You understand?
Right.
It's called a bull whip or a bull scourge because to get the bull in line, the scourge helps. They're afraid of that crack of that whip.
Right.
You understand? And if you were so happen to just put it on the backside of a bull, wow, you'll see what a whip could really do to the person. You understand? So, of course, this is Black history. That's why I got my scourge with me. And I got it because our king used it. He had to use it on our own people to drive them out of the temple because, man, they didn't give a damn about nothing but the money. They didn't. Go ahead.
Slack, yo. I've seen like movies, several movies where Yahushua was like in the temple. Like in the movies, like he made it. Like he walked in and he saw everything was going on, and right there and then he started just making it.
You saw a movie?
Yeah, it was movies where he walks up in the temple and he starts making the whip like right there and then. Is that a scripture? Does he walk in the temple knowing that he's going to see this, or there's something that he just got off guard?
The scripture just said he walked in and then he saw some cords and took the cords and made them because of what he saw. Go ahead.
So he walked in and then saw the cords?
Yeah, let's read the scripture. Read it again.
Wakanda. Verse 14. Verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. Verse 14. And found in the temple.
Stop. And what?
And found in the temple.
So what does that mean? He didn't know it was happening. He didn't know that he was going to walk in the temple and see this. When he walked in, this is what he found in the temple. Go ahead.
Those that sold oxen and sheep and doves.
Mm-hmm.
And the changers of money sitting.
So what does this mean? Instead of these people being prepared for the Passover, he walk in there and see them turning the Lord's temple into a store.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? This wasn't. They had that. Listen, that's what I'm telling you. They had no. Okay, is it unlawful to sell merchandise at the Passover? No. But the thing is, their mind wasn't on the Passover.
Right.
They didn't have. They came to the temple literally to just make money.
Right.
That's all they wanted to do. They weren't worried about the Passover. And when Christ saw it, when Yahushua saw it, it offended him because it probably was something disgusting, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It probably was something underhanded going on in there.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Khan, sir. And I think wasn't it like during this time where Yahushua didn't sacrifice himself yet. So
right.
Like, they were still sacrificing doves and oxen and stuff as sacrifices and stuff like that for sins and stuff, right?
Exactly.
So the money changers, that's what they was doing. This is like well, look, you want to get rid of your sins? We got it right here. We got the blemish-free oxen and the doves for you. You know what I'm saying?
So imagine seeing that.
Right.
Imagine seeing, like when you go to the Christian church, or have you ever been in a Christian church, and you see them say, come buy you some prayer oil. Anybody ever seen those?
Or like on TV, like they be selling like the holy waters.
The holy waters, yeah, and you supposed to drink it or it's supposed to touch it, and then now you fall for that. You're an idiot. Well, people, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We used to go to this church in Georgia, near Kalai, and the pastor used to sell holy ice.
Holy ice. I'm gonna buy a cup of this holy ice. A regular cup of ice should be what, 99 cents? You buy this holy ice, you paying $20 for this holy ice to sit with that iced tea, and yeah, you gonna pay that money too. Right. It's some of the stupidest things that you can find in church that people think if they buy it, that it's making them a better person. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's the same idea, and the money changers were there because there's something underhanded going. Mm-hmm. They're making you pay higher price for something and changing out the money. You see what I'm saying? It was something bad going on in the temple. So these people are in the temple selling hope for high. And when Christ saw it, it was an issue. And he just sat back and said, okay, all right, that's what we're doing in here. Okay. All right. Now y'all got it. I keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all got it. By the time he was done making that scourge, he got the kicking ass up in there. You understand? And if they wasn't doing nothing that was illegal, then he would have never kicked them up out of the temple.
Oh, God.
But of course, he knows that he is that hope that they need. Don't be selling no false hope. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. So, and at this point, everybody already knew that Yahushua was that man. Like, he was the king. You know what I'm saying?
They knew his lineage.
Right.
Oh, they knew his lineage. Go ahead.
Salaki, like they kind of jumping back up ZQ. Like, did this was the time where like Yahweh is it the time when Yahushua was like a threat to the Roman Empire because of the followers that he had, like people was following behind Yahushua?
Yeah.
Like, was he a threat back then because of that?
Yeah, you found all throughout before we get to up here, you find how many things that Christ did as far as miracles and teachings and building and raising people. You understand? You found all of that out. Right? So when you found it out, guess what happened? He becomes a threat. Same thing you do. Everybody in the city should know about us. If they don't, they're gonna find out soon. You know what I'm saying? And once we start doing these kind of things like that our king was doing, we're gonna become a threat as well. Same way we are in every single city. Every single city we go to, man, we are a threat. Why? Because we expose, first of all, we do the work that the Christians get paid for. We do the work. They get paid to give an illusion as if they're doing the work, and they're not doing the work. You understand? So read on.
Got on sir.
All right.
Verse 15. And when he had many scores of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple.
Right. So, you don't just get a whip and ask people to leave. He drove them out. You understand? Meaning he whooped their ass up out of the temple with that whip. Go ahead.
And the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the table.
Obviously, there was a reason why he took the sheep and the oxen out of the temple and poured the money over, because it was something that was illegal going on in there. He wasn't going to sit there and have it. Read.
Verse 16. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house in the house of merchandise.
Go ahead.
Verse 17. And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
And even that was prophecy. It was written in the Old Testament that, that was supposed to be fulfilled. And he did it. All right. Does that answer the question about the scourge and all of that? Because people might think, oh, man, y'all just some crazy niggas, man. Y'all just some crazy niggas. Why y'all got the damn whip on camera? What y'all trying to look hard? No, we remembering Black history. And this whip was Black history. On the right-hand side, when our king had it, and on the left-hand side, when our oppressors had it. And then guess what? Them days of us whooping the backs of the people that whooped our backs is coming back. It's coming. So you might want to get used to seeing these and knowing what to do with them, because you will need one if you own some slaves in the kingdom. Because I plan on it. I plan on breeding them and selling them for cheap. You understand? Hell, give them away. You understand? I give them away for the Feast of Purim. I give them away. Go ahead, priest. Alligator bait, that got to happen. You understand? Yeah, I mean, like, of course, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know if I do that, because why would I waste a perfectly good slave? Go ahead. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be doing that. I think if anything, it'll be a reason why I would have to do it. You know what I mean? It will have to be a reason why. Maybe it needs to be, a reason. If there's a reason, then yeah, we could reenact the alligator bait. But I really just, if anything, I want to take the baby and crack his head against the damn the tree, make it sound like I hit the tree with a bat, like that. Yeah, that big done. I won't do it for no reason. Do it because there's a reason.
Right.
You understand? You know. Nevertheless, we got a question online. Any more questions in the room before we get to the questions online? Go ahead, Ganania. Hold on one second.
Just the cliche Christian thing. Did Christ really literally walk on water?
That was your next question? Let's get the scripture. Oh, you didn't know it was a scripture? Yeah, let's get it.
Okay, I think that's when he met the mother that was fishing. Right, sir?
Nah, this was after that.
After that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're just gonna turn up next door.
Sorry, let them do their thing, God.
I have it, sir.
Let's get it. Where we at?
Matthew chapter 14, verse 29. The meat is 29. I'm pretty sure you probably want to start like in verse 26 or 25. So.
All right, yeah, let's do
25, sir?
26 or 25 is fine.
Come on. This is Matthew chapter 14, verse 25. And in the fourth watch of the night.
No, start 22.
Come on. This is Matthew chapter 14, verse 22. And straightway Yahushua constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away.
So I think this was right after he did the miracle with the 5,000 fish and the bread and fed all the people.
Right.
They had to go to another city. And while Christ was dismissing everybody else, he wanted the disciples to go ahead and get a head start. So he dismissing all the other ranks because these were ranks of people that he had, meaning these were men in rank, 5,000 people in rank. You understand?
Oh,
as he is dismissing them, he's sending his generals ahead of him and told them to go across the damn the sea, so to the other spot that he was going to go, and then he was going to catch up to him. All right, go ahead. So this is a literal thing that's happening, because literally he told them to leave. Literally, they left. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into the mountain apart to pray.
Yeah, because Christ always tried to stay in tune with the Most High, right? So he went up there to pray. And go ahead.
And when the evening was come,
meaning it's nighttime now. Go ahead.
He was there alone.
Oh yeah, so they had been well gone. Huh? Meaning he probably told them to do this in the beginning of the day. He went up to the mountain. The evening has passed. Meaning they had what happens is the disciples, they gone. They damn near probably halfway, 75% of the way there. Go ahead.
Verse 24. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea.
There you go. It's in the middle of the sea, right? So they had some time to get where they needed to go. Go ahead.
Tossed with waves.
Oh yeah, and imagine this. Well, first of all, for a show of hands, how many of you have ever been on the ocean when it gets violent, when the waves start acting a fool? Go ahead. That's not a good feeling. Is it?
You get sick.
Not only that, you get afraid.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You get afraid because first of all of the things that could be swimming in the water as this joint, if it capsizes, there's things in the water that are a threat to you. Let alone the water. You got, what's the first thing you think of if you had to swim in the sea? Go ahead.
Shark.
That's it.
No, it ain't.
Oh, it's something dangerous, more dangerous than sharks that you could go into. Go ahead.
Drown.
Of course, yeah, drowning for sure. You know what it says?
Stingrays, jellyfish.
That's what I would think. Jellyfish. That's the first thing I'm thinking. I'm not thinking of no shark because I can try to tussle with a shark. How you know?
Oh man, them sharks vicious.
Man, I'm vicious too. I mean, brother, I done seen. Listen, all you have to do is not panic. That's it. You understand? You never been in the water with a shark before? Oh, okay, y'all. There's a lot of things y'all haven't done. I have too. Maybe it's because I had a privileged childhood, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So you don't see any movies made just killer stingrays in the sea, ocean. You see plenty of movies made with sharks killing plenty of people.
I
So
guess
you go by that. You know?
No, that's not what you go by.
I'm saying they put it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's propaganda.
Yeah.
More people probably die from jellyfishes than sharks, brother.
They think that they did nice. They look pretty. You know what I mean?
And if you swim into a swarm of jellyfish, how you gonna get out without dying? I mean, without being unalive. Go ahead.
Also, jellyfishes are translucent, and it's kind of impossible to
see them. Yeah,
even if it's dark outside,
right,
or in the waters because of the color of the water.
Well, because of the salt content in the water, it's hard to see them. Go ahead.
I was told that the jellyfish is the most dangerous fish in the sea, in the ocean.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: what the sister's bringing out is real heavy. The odds of a shark attacking you are slim to none, brother. That's for real. You understand? That is for real. But the odds of you getting tapped by a jellyfish out where you have to tread water and then not recovering from that and drowning, that's a very, very higher threat than any of that. And Steve, who died from a stingray? Steve Irwin, right? The crocodile hunter, right? Now here he go. He done tackled sharks. I done seen him do it. He done tackled sharks, swam with the sharks. Yes, mate. Everything all right. You're all right. You're all right. It's all right. Look at feel the shark skin. If you rub it this way, it feels like sandpaper. You see? And then he got taken out by a stingray. Yeah. Something that you aren't threatened of. He wasn't threatened of it until he stepped on it. Mm-hmm. And there's poison that comes out of it. See, if a shark bites you, sometimes a shark doesn't even take off a limb. Sometimes a shark will bite you because it's afraid of you. It'll bite you, let you go, and try to get up out of there. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, just looked up. Right.
Oh, what's all right?
I just
because sometimes maybe the captain isn't studious enough to know. I'm just playing.
Jellyfish kill way more than shark attacks.
Yeah, read it.
Okay. Since jellyfish kill many more people each year, depending on the species, it is almost certain death for some. But for sharks, only 20% of 100 out of the year attacks.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why those sharks do that. One second, I'm coming to you. Those sharks do that because our oppressors are stupid. They try the spirit of the Lord every time and test him. Doesn't it say, "Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God"? Well, guess what? You know what they do? They put themselves in a feeding frenzy with sharks so they can try to see what the shark looking like when they eat. Right. Okay. In those type of frenzy, you know what the word frenzy means? You're impulsive. You don't have it's instinctive. You're hungry. Right. I'm in a frenzy to get something. Like Black Friday. You're hungry to go in the store, so you'll stampede everybody just to get to a damn TV that your kid's gonna break anyway. Yeah, y'all done trampled over a damn woman, and now she's unalive. But you got that TV though, don't you? That's a frenzy, right? Those are feeding frenzies that happen in the ocean. They go do them. Or you know what they'll do? A damn devil who on her flower get in the water, and next thing you know, her leg gone. Then you know that you look and smelled like something that should be eaten. And I mean, it's just stupidity. But the majority of the people that swim with sharks, the shark ain't worried about them. The shark has a diet, and he's hunting for what he is looking for. Go ahead.
So, like, sir, it says the box jellyfish kill more than
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's that one, the most common jellyfish that everybody wants to touch. You understand? Now, here's the deal. I've been on beaches and I've seen jellyfishes on the sand and all that. And you know, I was thinking, okay, maybe it's dead. Maybe I can touch one of the tentacles and it'll be okay. But then common sense struck me and said, maybe it's not. And I don't feel like feeling that the sting from a poison. Now, the sting of a jellyfish is a poison shock. That's why it's doing something under the skin now. Go ahead.
They were saying like once you get stung by jellyfish, like to pee on the where you got stung on.
That's what they say, but I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm good on the pee. Just call the police or call the ambulance for me. Go ahead. Lifeguard.
They said the bark jellyfish cause more death than sharks, sea snakes, and stingrays combined.
So that's what so if something go capsize, this is what I'm looking out for. I'm looking and I'm praying to the Lord that I do not swim into a swarm or a colony of jellyfish. Man, I would hate to have to do that. All right.
Like,
go ahead.
So most of the time, people gets unalive by the jellyfish because they out there in the water too far enough where they ain't supposed to be, and they just swimming around, jumping off their boats and stuff like that. And they have
surfers and yeah, they get caught up now. If you had on full scuba gear, then that's more of a protection from the tentacles of a jellyfish, right? Because it is not right on your skin. But if you just one of them surfers with your shirt off and you want to go out there and do your thing, if you run into, you know, they do it all the time. Cowabunga do. You know what I'm saying? They do it all the time. You're out. You're done. You're done. You're gonna pass out. The stings are gonna. First of all, the pain from the sting is gonna be overwhelming, right? And then you'll pass out from the neurotoxins. Before you know it, you're gonna be a baby again on Earth. Go ahead.
So they say deer are responsible for more deaths than any other animal in the United States.
Yeah, deer.
They unalive just like that.
Yes.
A deer.
A deer. You thought you went to go hunt the deer, and that the deer is ain't gonna do nothing to you. Listen, I'm telling you, bro. I done seen deer do some damaging things to some dogs and some cats. And then think about it. If it's a buck, he ain't even using these. He ain't using those. He using them sharp antlers he has, and they'll impale you, brother. And he's not gonna stop just because you're impaled. He's gonna keep going until your body is lifeless, brother. Don't you know that bucks are damn near about as deadly as a bull? And if you see him in listen, if you were to go see one in the forest and it's about 20-30 feet away from you and it see you and it's mating season, when it do that little huff, you're gonna see all the steam come out his mouth. Bro, you need to get up out of there. Straight up, you need to go because he's not afraid of you, bro. He wants you gone. Elk, all that. Go ahead.
One more time. Salaki, what you think killed more people in Africa than anybody? Than any other animal, insect animal?
In Africa?
Africa.
I mean, I would probably say a zebra. I don't know.
They say here, sir, the mosquito transmits malaria. More than 530,000 people killed each year.
Well, guess what? And that's all the Lord. So here you are. You serve the power of like you serve the power of the earth, of the universe, everything that. And if he decided that he wanted 500 of us to go against Esau's military, 1.5 million, and we faced off with him, and we're ready to go. And before you know it, a swarm so thick it makes the sun blot out. Another mosquitoes. Straight from Africa. Come and hit that army. You'll know that the Lord with you there, won't you? If the mosquitoes touch them and don't do nothing to you. That's the power of the Most High. The Lord is sending locusts. He'll send just a lot of stuff. What did he do with with the 10 plagues? He said everything that you wouldn't even think was conventional warfare. He fought that war for them with flies. You understand? With fish. You know what I'm saying? You think about that. So it's a lot of things to be terrified about that's in the water. So they're in the middle of this. They're in the middle of the sea. Let's keep on with the story. They're in the middle of the ocean.
But it's like verse 24. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary.
Contrary to what? Being still, right? Go ahead.
Verse 24. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went unto them, walking on the sea.
Yeah, he was walking on the sea. Now, imagine how afraid you had to be all day, all night. You nothing but waves, and the wind is forcing you to rock, and you thinking your boat is about to capsize, right? Go ahead.
Verse 26. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled.
There was trouble. Go ahead, let's find out why.
Saying, is it a spirit? And they cried out for fear.
No, they didn't ask the question. They said, what?
And they cried out for fear. No, it's like it. Is it a spirit?
No, they said it is a spirit.
Oh, it's like it. It is a spirit.
It is a spirit. And then not only then are they afraid of the waves in the turbulence of the storm, now they see something that they said is a spirit walking what?
Walking on the sea.
Walking on the sea. Now, not only is he walking on the sea, but there's waves. It's a violent sea. He walking on the waves, man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even picture that in your mind? Go ahead.
They were troubled, saying, it is a spirit.
It's what?
It is a spirit.
Uh-huh.
And they cried out for fear.
And they what?
Cried out for fear.
These men were afraid. Now, these are some of the toughest cats. They walk with Christ. But when they seen the spirit in the middle of the ocean, they was afraid. They cried out with fear. Imagine grown men crying out in fear. What that might have looked like, especially to their king. Read.
Verse 27. But straightway Yahushua spake unto them.
Now, imagine this, brother. Yahushua speaking to them after it's raining, the wind is going crazy. It's utterly turbulent and loud. And then Christ spoke to them. Go ahead.
But it's like it. Saying, be of good cheer. It is I. Be not afraid.
That's crazy, man. I don't think y'all picturing this how you should be picturing this. Like this is insane. And then you see a cat that looked like a ghost on the water, and then you find out once he say, "Hey, y'all, chill out. It's me. Don't be scared, bro. Y'all tripping. Don't be scared." Go ahead.
Verse 28. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water.
And that's some gangster. Now that's gangster. Imagine this, man. You already afraid of the water, right? You're afraid of the water, and then he got the nerve to say he won't get in the water too. Only if Christ say that he could do it. Go ahead.
It's like I said, for the insurance.
Yeah, like if you say I can do it, I trust you enough. You know what I'm saying? If you say I can, I'll do it.
Right.
That's faith.
Okay.
You understand? Imagine if you thought like that.
Right.
If one of y'all say, man, I'll go take over that church. If you say I can. If you say I can do it, I'll do it. And I say, go do it. And you do it. This is that faith of the mustard seed that Christ was talking about. He had blind faith. He was just going to follow out of zeal and faith. Go ahead.
Verse 29.
Into a storm, too.
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
Verse 29. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua.
So, Kananya. So, does this sound like something literal? That's literally happened? Or a metaphor? Yeah, this is definitely happening. Do you believe it?
Oh, God.
Do you believe it, Kananya? How about you, Ayar?
Yeah.
You believe it?
Absolutely. Oh, God.
Trooper, you believe it?
I'm calm.
All right. So, Christ said, go occupy until I come. Do you believe you can take Milwaukee?
Oh, God.
Oh, I ain't hear nothing from y'all then. Y'all believe y'all can take Milwaukee?
God out of one kind.
Okay. I mean, you said you believe that this brother walked on water because Christ said it. Christ gave us an order to go take Milwaukee. He said it. Do you believe it?
Yes, sir.
That's what we on right now. I believe it.
Oh, God.
I definitely do, which is why I'm here. And we're going to do it. All right. Is that enough on that? Can we drop that?
Go, sir.
All right. No sweat. We got any questions online?
You can, sir.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. Any more questions in the room? All right. Go ahead. Online.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you got a question? Yeah. Go ahead. I didn't know if that was a hand up or scratching your head. Slock it.
No, I did want the general breakdown of Luke 17:6. You had just said something about a mustard seed, but that's part of it. And what is I want to know what was like a sycamore tree.
Okay. Luke 17.
Okay, 17:6.
Yeah, would you give me the not the apocrypha, but would you give me the Donovan's, please? It's a big old Bible dictionary. Yes, sir. Thank you, priest. Appreciate that, nigga. All right, sis. Luke chapter 17:6. All right, can somebody read it?
I'm coming out of one conversation. The book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 6. And the Lord said, if ye had faith as a grain of a mustard seed.
What's your question with this?
I wanted a general breakdown of it. So, grain of a mustard seed, I know it's like really, really small.
Mm-hmm.
But so you gotta have faith like that. Like you gotta absolutely have the faith.
No. Mm-mm. Your faith should be way bigger than that. That's what Christ is really trying to say. Like Christians think, oh well, all we have to have is faith of a mustard seed. Like, no. You want to have way more than that. But if you only had a little bit, and that's all you had, then guess what? That'll be enough. That'll be enough to move a mountain. Like, you looked at Christ and saw that he brought people back from the dead. Brother, you know how much faith it took for that? Do you think it only took a grain mustard seed? Oh, no. That probably took about a football field's worth of faith to be able to do that. You understand? Once we can understand this concept and totally do what we need to do, then we ourselves will be able to. But holding on to that little bitty mustard seed, Christ is really checking them. He's really checking them. This is not a good thing he's saying to them. He is checking the hell out of them right now. You understand that, right? This is a checking. It's not a yes, brother. And Nah. Christ is checking them because they don't have no faith.
Right.
After all they seen him do, after all the things he's done, showed them, traveled to, the countless people, he saw people blind. They saw people blind just can see now, and lame can walk now, and unalive get up and move, and sick, and hell, they seen him tell a woman that her daughter was good, and she was good. After all of that, they still ain't have enough faith to go do a mission that he told them to go do. Come on, man. They came back and was like, well, we couldn't do it. What? If you had a little bit of faith, you probably would have got it done, but y'all don't. He was checking. That's what this was, a check. Keep reading.
Okay, another one coming. Let's start from the top, if you don't know.
Please.
And the Lord said, if ye had faith as a grain of mustard seed, you might say unto this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you.
Y'all want to know how to get the power? This is how you get the power. That's how you do it. Go ahead.
I was just about to ask you that too, about how do you utilize faith, like faith is power, like, physical power, like use it to like telepathy, like telekinesis. You know what I'm saying? So like because you know what I'm saying, we understand that, so one of the key things to unlocking that power is faith.
Mm-hmm. What is faith?
It's work.
Okay, so with that being said, let's make it practical now. So
make some contraption to automatically. Okay, so, like I'm trying to understand because I know faith is work. You know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, like all the Dragon Ball Z type stuff and everything, that don't come until the spiritual power and stuff like that. That don't come until probably after Christ come back, right?
I don't know. When Christ left, did the prophets, were they able to do the things that Christ did when he was here?
Oh, God.
So then why we got to wait? What we got to do is just really tap into something that's a little bit more grand than what we're seeing right now. And because we're not seeing that right now, then we're not able to do it. Go ahead.
It's like
not in the way that this is happening. Go ahead.
Do you believe that we only use like 10% of our brain then?
This has nothing to do with using 10% of your brain. None of that limitless, take a limitless pill. This ain't that. You understand? This is about faith. This is about really having that blind zeal, that thing that Peter just had when he said, all you got to do is tell me and I'll hop out in the ocean. When he hopped out in the ocean, he hopped out in the ocean and was walking for a second. You know, the thing that's messing with us and getting in our way is that now we're seeing the water. Oh, wow, I'm walking on water, but damn, the waves is crazy. And all these things are trying to make me sink. Oh, the wind is howling. And how am I really doing this? And once you start questioning it, that's what overwhelms you. You know, Peter was walking out there for a while, walking up to Christ. He walked all the way up to Christ because he had his mind on Christ. But then when he get to Christ, now he questioning, am I really standing on the water? And that's when he sank into the ocean. And Christ grabbed him and said, get up, bro. Tripping.
Right.
That's the point. Go ahead.
And it's like saying that was because he questioned his faith.
Yes.
And okay, come on.
He questioned the fact is, am I really doing this? Because the work was getting out of the damn boat and getting on the water and walking to Christ. That was the work. He had enough faith to say, okay, I'm going to get up and do this. But then once his mind started getting a hold of him, then that's when everything left. Go ahead. He was reality set in. You know what I'm saying? People don't walk on water. I'm walking on water.
Right.
Go ahead.
Like, there's sometimes like my dreams would be so real, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like in my dreams were kind of like faith. I don't know if it's faith or not, but like in my dream, like let's say I'm running away from something, right? But I'm not sure if I'm in a dream or not. But I kind of know. So I have faith. Like in my dream, I'll be like, I need a gun. I need a gun. I gotta believe that I have to believe that I'm seeing the gun in my hand, and then boom, it's there. You know what I mean? So like,
and if you didn't know if you was in a dream, maybe if you could do that outside of your dream, maybe you can get some things done.
But then like somewhere down the line, I'm start doubting myself in my dream. Then the gun goes away.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, this is just a dream. This is
right,
you know. And the pressures of life get you.
Right.
So imagine you trying to heal somebody from let's say you did get the power. I got it in your mind to unlock this power. You understand? And now you're in the middle of healing someone's crippled body. You understand? And all you tell them is, hey man, you're not crippled no more. Man, stand up. But the person goes, but I haven't stood up since I was this. And now in your mind, you're like, well, damn, he probably might not get up, though. You know what I'm saying? He might not. Well, then guess what? He absolutely won't. Absolutely won't now. You see it happening? Now he won't, because you don't believe. I mean, maybe that's what what Peter was going through. When he thought, damn, I'm literally standing on this water in front of the king who's standing on this water. He could do it, I could do it, but damn, look at the ocean. I'm looking beneath me and whoa, I'm sinking now. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So basically, faith is like power.
Yes. The absolute solidarity of mind and what you about to do for the Lord is the power that you have. It's the same thing that makes us go take cities. If you don't believe and see that you could take this city, brother, and stop letting everything else get in the way of you taking this city, like you got to sometimes get out of reality. Like you got to be ahead of this. Like when I'm coming, I already know we got a school. Y'all just don't see it yet. Because if you saw it, then you'd work towards it. Like I work towards it. Imagine if we all saw the same thing. What'll stand in your way? Work? Food? What? What are you talking about? The things that concern you are things that keep you right where you at. That's the whole point. Things that concern you are not the things I'm concerned with. I'm just telling you straight up. I'm prepared to go under a bridge and still do the work of the Lord. Wake up, take a shower in the pond when ain't nobody looking, and put on my glorious garments and do the work of the Lord. And I know that when it's time to go to sleep, I'm under the bridge. Cool with that. How about you? If you're not ready for everything to be taken away from you, you're just not ready for this work. The scriptures say, my son, prepare your heart for temptation. It's things that happen to you to tempt you to want to stop doing the things that you're doing that you know is right. So you understand? So I know we got Milwaukee. Problem is, do you? I don't see that, and that's one of the things that I know Captain Marquardt love about me, brother. I just do it. I just do it, man. I don't see obstacles. And when I do see an obstacle, I think, okay, gotta go around this, go through it. It ain't impenetrable. You got a make-believe wall in front of me that I can't get through a make-believe wall. It's not even here, really. I put that in front of me. So I move it. That's the point. And if you're doing that with the power of the Lord, what your king is saying, man, the Lord will give it to you, man.
That's right.
It's just that simple. And Christians, here they go. Here go the Christians. It may not come when you want it. They are shubba bubba bowing. They are shubba bubba bow and act like that's how they got to church. They are like that's how they got to church. No, that's not how they got to church. They made an agreement, a covenant with our oppressors to teach in what they say Christianity is. You understand? To teach the slave Bible and to give you a song and a dance and ask you for money. That's why they got the mega church. Because you're stupid. And they're smart. wonder why you're not the pastor? Because you're stupid. And they're smart. They're smart enough to know that you're dumb enough to fall for the stupid stuff. And so they capitalize off of it. Because to them, you're just an ignorant cat. That's it. They can tell you whatever, you believe it. You're a peasant-minded cat. They can tell you whatever and you believe it. Look, I've seen it on tape. I seen Benny Hinn go, I got it in my hand. Do you want it? Everybody said, I want it. He said, well, then you get some. Everybody said, you get some. Everybody goes, shh. You get, you get some. And you're stupid enough to go with the stupid show. And that's good for his views. Go ahead.
He did come on and admit that said that he was doing.
Yeah.
He came on and admitted it.
But who cares? He's rich already. I got some thought. Who cares? He's rich. Go ahead.
I got a question when you know.
All right, hold your question. We finna get through this. So does that help answer your question? Or do you want to keep reading?
Yeah, okay. So my second question was
The sycamore tree, right?
I want to know what the sycamore tree was. And also when he said, be thou plucked up by the root, and be planted in the sea, and it shall obey you.
Right.
So that he's talking about that literal tree, and how does that tree obey him in the sea? Is it meaning because it's going to grow?
All right. Well,
basically, I know it's like you gotta have faith.
All right. So that was a metaphor, but it was actually absolutely something that you could do if you decided to do it, and the sycamore tree would get up and do it if you had enough faith to do it. Like if you had enough faith, without doubt, what Christ is telling you, if you had enough faith to say, hey, you get up, go and plant yourself in the tree. Plant yourself in the sea, and do it now. It'll happen. But you really don't believe it when you're saying it. You don't believe that. Go ahead.
So would it be like, say, like when my husband gets sick, and then I have faith that I can make him better, but sometimes he don't believe that I can. Like what I give him is gonna help him. So would that be basically the same or something?
Along the lines. It's along the lines, yes, because you made him better, but you used actual work to do it. You used faith to do it. You knew that, okay, I take this, I take that, put that all together and give you this, you'll be good. He goes, dang, for real? I don't know. I don't believe it. But if you could do it, do it. Same thing with Christ for telling Peter, hey, if you want to come out on this water, you can do it. Peter said, well, if you say I could do it, then do it. Just say I can and I'll do it. Well, that's the same idea, right? But the sycamore tree, I got the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary for you.
Okay.
The sycamore tree is Morus nigra. That's the Latin word for it. It's the black mulberry tree. Botanists consider the leaves of this tree inferior to those of the Morus alba, which is the white mulberry, as a food for the silkworms. It is, however, cultivated throughout Palestine for its delectable fruit. So I guess we had silk too, didn't we? It's just a tree. He could have said any other tree. He take the fig tree, but it's probably the tree that he saw right there. It's plentiful in Palestine, which is where?
Palestine. I want to say the East, like Jerusalem.
Give her a hand.
Right.
That's where he was. He was in our land.
Okay.
You understand? They call it Palestine, and you think the Palestinians today, because that's what they think of it as. Back then, it was just Jerusalem.
So Palestine that they stay in now
is our land, yes. So we can get it back, right? Well, let them tear it up first. They need to tear all that nasty stuff down. Let them bomb it all away. Bombs away, please, so that we can come back to something that we can build on. Let all that blood be and body and all that be fertilizer for when we go back over there and irrigate the land. That's all I can say. Feed the worms. so that the worms can clean our soil. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
What you want me to tell you? Everybody end up back to the worms.
Yeah.
So why don't they just become worm food for our fertile soil? I mean, they drained it. They drained the resources from it for how long? How long we been going out of the land? Since 70 AD? They drained it. So how much is it going to take for them to fertilize it? Let's find out. Keep dropping bombs over there. If you could, please, Mr. Jewish white man, just drop all the bombs. And then you go over there, too, and see if those people is some punks and see if they just going to let you just come and assault them. You become fertilizer food for us, too. Go ahead.
Let's not forget about how Mexico is now like taunting the United States. Like, go ahead, come over here. Go ahead, say, do what you're going to do. You put boots on the ground in Mexico, do it.
Yeah, well, guess what? Either way it go, that ain't written in the design.
Right.
Mexico is just Mexico. It's the land.
Right.
The people is who I'm concerned about.
No, but the reason why I said that is because Russia is there. China is there. They're reinforcing Mexico.
I understand. But here's you got to understand. Mexico won't matter once the lake of fire happens.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and after that, it's gonna be a long time since we can come over here and settle anything over here because it's gonna be so polluted with nuclear warfare that nobody can live over here. No plants, no nothing. The only thing that might live is the cockroaches, and you're gonna need them to recreate the ecosystem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The things that are deep under the ground. Other than that, bro, we ain't gonna be over here. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're like right there. Like Russia's there. You know what I mean? China's there. So just a matter of time with all this shit is.
Yeah, it can all hit the fan today. As I'm teaching the class right now, somebody can say, you know what, I'm finna nuke Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finna hit it with a IBM nuclear missile head and nuke it. Once they nuke it, America's gonna send a nuke, and then here goes another nuke, and then another nuke, and a nuke, and then we nuke them. Are we prepared? You know what I mean? What are we gonna do? So yeah, that's that. Who said they had another question? Go ahead.
So like, sir, this is different. It's all a different topic. How shall I say he was made much lower than the angels? Now, Christians say he God, but he himself said he's made lower than the angels.
I need you to get the scripture. Or you just wanted to quote it for your question?
I wanted you to break it down.
Let's get the scripture.
Okay.
And the question online is what?
Mother Bar wanted to, he said Exodus 21:4-7. He had two questions for it. He said, Shlaki, sir, asking in verses 4-6 about why his wife and child can't leave with him. And in verse 7, if we actually sell our kids.
All right, let's go there. Exodus what?
21:4-7, sir.
I'm waiting for somebody to read.
Concept. It's like Exodus chapter 21, verse 4. It says, if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. 6. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever.
Mm-hmm.
7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do.
All right, and his question is what?
He had two questions, sir. Verses 4 through 6. Why his wife and child can't leave with him. And verse 7.
Well, it tells you why. Because first of all, he's a servant, meaning he's hired on to do a job. And once you want a contract, you can't just break the contract. Let's say I gave a dude a contract for 6 years and he married whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then his family is there, right? But he wants to move and go somewhere else after his. Let's read it. Let's read it again. Read it from the top.
Another one coming. Exodus 21, chapter 21, verse 4.
And again, these aren't slaves. You understand? These are people who came into a contract with a person and said that I'll work for you for this amount of time. Just like Jacob did. Jacob did with Laban. Jacob said, I'll work for you for 7 years if you give me your daughter. That was a contract. He gave his word that that's what he would do in order to get his daughter, right? And then to get the other daughter, he had to, you know what I'm saying? That's what he did. That was a contract. So in our culture, you don't just disobey a contract. That's not how it works. Go ahead. Verse 2.
We use that verse 4.
Read verse 2.
Contract. The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 2. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve. And in the 7th, he shall go out free for nothing.
Do you understand? So this is the context that we're talking about here. The context we're talking about is if I hired Zaquan, I'm going to use Kananya because CQ, he ain't about that. If I hired Zaquan, who plays great basketball, and I hired him, that I want him to come and train everybody to play basketball, right? For 6 years. That's what I hired him for. And he knows that according to our contract, as long as I hire him, he's getting paid this, he's getting housing, all his per diem, everything, right? We go into a contract. Then 6 years we got. 6 years I have to keep my bargain up and pay him, right? And 6 years he got to keep his bargain up and be paid and do his job to get paid. That's the point. That we made a contract, right? So when I bought him, I bought his services, paid it. So now you owe me. You owe me them 6 years. You can't just run off with the money, Joe. You know how people always like to run off with the plug, or run off the plug. You know what I'm saying? With the plug, yeah, you ain't running off on the plug with me. This is the Bible's against running off on the plug. Right. You understand? You ain't doing that. Not with the drugs, but of course, running off on your obligations when it comes to money. All right, what you said, right? Read.
3. If he came in by himself.
Now he came in by himself. You understand? Go ahead.
Select. He shall go out by himself.
If he came in by himself, he got to leave by himself. That's what the contract said. Go ahead.
If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him.
Meaning, if he came in with a wife, then his wife should go out with him. He didn't come in with the wife. All right? Go ahead.
4. If his master have given him a wife.
Now, if his master gives him a wife, you following?
Oh, God.
He didn't come in with a wife. His master is giving him a wife, which means what? Go ahead.
See, when he go free, the wife stay. His wife.
How could his master give him a wife? He has to what?
He has to work for her. No, he has.
This wife belongs to who? Go ahead.
The servant.
No. The master gave him a wife. How do you give somebody a wife? You have to have power over that person to give him a wife. Go ahead.
She must also be a servant.
She must also belong to him too. For a contract. You understand? Now, what if this wife that the master gave to him it's under a lifetime contract. I don't know, maybe a 30-year contract or a very long time or a forever contract. How do you know? Well, to keep you, he'll give you that wife. Because he want you to stay. You understand? Right. He love your services. He know you love this woman. Right? Read.
And she had borne him sons or daughters.
Okay, go ahead.
The wife and her children shall be her masters.
Because they was always the master, because there's a contract there. Go ahead.
And he shall go out by himself.
He came in by himself. He got to leave by himself. You understand? Is that cruel?
So
go ahead.
So like, let's say he was at a plantation, right? He goes in and the master gives him a wife. He obviously marries her, right? Has kids, and then he has to leave and leave those kids in.
He got to leave by himself. Did you just not hear the law? That's the law. Why? Because if he doesn't, then the man takes. Listen, if I hired a woman, she's endowed to me for 40 years. But I get some other cat that come in, he ain't come out with nobody. But when he come there, he working with this chick. You ever heard of the work husband? That's what Alicia Keys and Usher was just work. That was his work girlfriend, her work boyfriend. And he all up on that thing. He liked that thing all on TV. Well, listen, the work husband, you know, when Negroes in the world got a rib, she going to work. She got a work husband. You ain't know that. She got a, that's my little, they flirt at work. You understand? That's what they do. Well, he coming in, this lady been working for, 5 years, 6 years? She been there for 6 years already. She got 34, 36 more years to go. You understand? He come in, he kick it off with her, but he came in by himself. He kick it off with her. He love her. He asked, let me break it down first real quick. He asked the master, hey man, I want to marry her. The only person who can say I want to marry her, this is the master. Right? She's a servant at his place. Maybe her father and her mother are gone. Or maybe her father and her mother don't even matter. Maybe she was an orphan. I don't know. But she belongs to this cat. He gives, why? Because they have a contract together. It's a 40-year contract. If you got a 40-year contract, the father and the mother can't come get her. Because 9 times out of 10, the father is the one who gave her services over. So he comes to the master, hey, I want to marry Shorty. The master say, okay. I just want you to know, you came in by yourself, you leave by yourself. You know the contract. Oh, okay, all right. All right, bet. So he let him marry. They have sons and daughters. But his contract is up in 6 years. He ready to go. He can't just take them while that wife, she owe him something. She owe him 30 more years. Well, guess what? If you don't want to leave that wife and them kids, then you know what you got to do? You got to come before the judges. And these are righteous judges. You got to come before the judges, men of the Lord. And you got to get a earring in your ear. Right? That earring means that you'll be here forever just like them. Perhaps they got an earring already. She probably already had an earring. She made the agreement to say, I'll be here forever. So guess what? She got her earring. Now you need your earring. Gonna be here with you. You want to be a father to your kid? You can go if you want. You worked your 6 years. You can go. But her and them kids, they belong here. If you want to stay, let's go before the judges. And you have to say, I'm going to stay. And then once you get that earring on, that means you stay forever. You ever seen a genie in a bottle?
Yes.
Right? You ever seen the earring that he has? That means he's bound to that forever. You're a servant forever. You could be a well-paid servant, but you ain't coming about this land. You ain't coming about your service. Now you might live off the land, but you can't go nowhere. And that ring doesn't come off.
Right.
That ring is sealed. Only way you get rid of that ring is if you cut off your ear. Cut off your ear, we're gonna know you cut off your ear because you're running from a damn contract that you had. Go ahead.
It's like so did that servant tell the master that he wanted to marry her, or was it the master that used that technique?
It sounds like he wanted to marry Shorty.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Maybe he wanted to marry her to think he was gonna save her from her contract. Or it could be vice versa. Who knows? Go ahead, sis.
This scripture right here reminds me of stories that like my grandma used to tell me back when she was in slavery, that when they stayed on a plantation, like if the husband was there and the master sold him to another slave master, that his wife and children could not go. They had to stay with him.
I'm gonna tell you like this, since we doing Black History Month, I'm a direct descendant of Harriet Tubman, and from that family. Her father, Benjamin Ross. That's my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Facts. My slave name has Ross in it because of that. You understand? Well, guess what? When Harriet Tubman's mother and her father, they when Ben had 40 years, by the time he was 40, I think it was 45 or 40 years old, his slave master said that he can go. At 40 years old, he'll be free. But he had already married my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. But she had no such contract as far as they knew. But I guess she did in the contract. But they tried to hide that, right? So when they said old Ben free, she was supposed to come and the kids were supposed to come. But the slave master, he said that ain't true. I never said that. You understand? So because of that, Ben could leave, but Harriet couldn't leave. Harriet, his wife's name was Harriet. That's where Harriet Tubman came from, because Harriet Tubman's her actual name was a Hebrew name, Araminta, right? Araminta Ross, that was her name. But when she got married, she was able to rename herself. So she married a cat whose last name was Tubman, right? And she could change her first name too. So because she loved her mother, she made her mother's name her name, which was Harriet, because the Hebrew name didn't rock, right? So they called her Minty, you know what I'm saying, for Araminta. So what happened was, old Ben was free, but the mother wasn't, and neither was the kids. So Harriet couldn't go nowhere, her brothers and them couldn't go nowhere, none of that. They all had to stay on that plantation. And because he didn't want to leave his kids, he stayed on that plantation too. Voluntary. And then they found the records that said that the slave master said that they would let her go. But the slave master said, I don't want to do that. And them going to a court of law, it was the devil's name, his reputation against theirs. Even though they had the paperwork, they was in the South, it wasn't going to work. So they just stayed there. That's why they had to escape. You understand? Ben Ross was free to work the Underground Railroad. He was a free man, and that's what he did. If it wasn't for him, Harriet Tubman wouldn't have known nothing about no Underground Railroad, because he was the proprietor of the Underground Railroad in that area. He the one who had the connections to get slaves to go free, and because she wanted to go free, he helped her go free before they came and unalived her. That's how it went. So Harriet Tubman didn't invent the Underground Railroad. It was there well before she was. Slaves was getting free long before. You ever seen a slave movie and say, damn, they was running. I know they ain't run all the way up north. How did they even get this? Is before Harriet Tubman in the 1700s. Slaves was running away to go to the north. In the 1600s, they was gone. There already was a network set up for slaves to go free up north. And Ben had the formula. Grandpapa Ben had the damn formula. And that's where I come from. Runaway slaves. I come from runaway slaves. Literally. Go ahead.
So you got rebellion in your blood.
I got rebellion in my blood. You understand? because check it out. My great grandfather was Ben Ross Jr. And then when he got freed December on Christmas, Harriet Tubman came and got him from the plantation on Christmas. He got free, got back up north, and he changed his name. You understand? He changed his name from Benjamin Ross to something different. And his last name was Stewart. So it's Benjamin Stewart. You understand? My grandmother, well, his son, he had a son named Elijah Stewart. That's my grandmother's grandfather. You understand? My grandmother's name is Joan Butler now, but it was actually Joan Stewart because her father, his last name was Stewart. You understand? So that's the straight chain right there. That's the chain. I know my history. That's where I come from. I just posted it on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So that's the facts. So I come from a long line of runaways. My family didn't migrate up north during the Great Migration. My family had already went. They was runaways. We was already up there. You understand? As a matter of fact, my grandmother's grandfather, that was Harriet Tubman's favorite nephew. He lived in Boston. You understand? And when she came through Boston, he would come to her house. There's artifacts and letters and her gun. You know that gun she was famous for? Yeah. He had that gun. 1 second, go ahead.
He has a follow-up question too.
All right, no sweat. So he had that gun. You know what I mean? Straight up. Yeah, that gun, we don't know where it's at now, but he had that gun. So whenever she would come up there, she would leave that gun with him and stuff like that. Go ahead.
So it's safe to say that same spirit you carry today that was back then in your blood.
That's what it is. I believe just the blood of a runaway. I mean, you got the blood. I mean, we're all really, brother, that is not unique to just Harriet Tubman in my bloodline. Because my bloodline, just because Benjamin Ross was one of the proprietors of the Underground Railroad, it doesn't mean that there was other families that wasn't doing the same thing. My family is just the one that got isolated and became iconic for it. But it was a whole network of that. You know what I'm saying? So you could be coming from the blood of a runaway. Right. You see what I'm saying? You could come from a blood of a runaway. Brother, we all got that blood. And it's really not because I'm not a great person at all. I'm not, because Harriet Tubman is my great grandma. I'm just going to use that as a way to teach and to bust down certain doors so I can do what? So I can spill the truth out. That's the whole point. So I'm writing a book right now. You understand? I got professors that I'm about to get a hold of, all that, who wrote and know that my family are descendants with Harriet Tubman. So they're going to do the same thing with me. I'm going to write a book. And when I'm done writing a book, it's going to, the end of the book, the whole connotation of the book is about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians coming together as a family again. You understand? The same thing, being a descendant of Harriet Tubman, doing the same she was doing. She was freeing slaves, right? That's what she was doing, right? I'm in the business of freeing slaves. I know the railroad. The railroad is called the Israelite School of UPK. That's the Underground Railroad today. You understand? Under Commander General Hunt. That's the Underground Railroad. And I'm not special because of Harriet Tubman. I'm special because of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac. That's why. Because those three people right there, my bloodline is, we all share that bloodline together. So if I'm your brother, then guess what? You're related to Harriet Tubman too. You understand? We all connected, period, by blood. So that's some good history for you because it happened in my family. So what we're reading right now, I'm glad he brought the scripture out. It happened in my family. Facts. These are actual facts. You can read up on it. It's going to be in my book. I talk about it, all of that. It's all in my family. Those are facts. He had a follow-up question. What's the follow-up question online?
He said, Slacky, sir, why he got to stay forever, though? Is that the standard or another contract?
What would you do if your wife wasn't free? Again, I lived it. You understand? I mean, my family lived it. I didn't live it, but my family lived it. So And because he didn't want to leave his wife and his kids, he just stayed on the plantation because he loved his wife and kids. What would you do? Finna go somewhere else and lose out on your family? Nah, he wasn't finna do that. You just got to you think practical. Like, what would you really do? You gonna leave your babies out? You gonna leave your rib? No, you're not. You have a damn about no freedom. You won't feel free without your damn family. Go ahead.
Yeah, constant. I'll be so dedicated, not leaving to the point I'll probably get like my Turner on.
I mean, if you get your Nat Turner on, then you might as well kiss you and your family goodbye because they're gonna smoke you and smoke all of them too. So what is the best thing you can do? Either run away or stay. What's the odds? But just think about it 1 second. Don't blur it out. What's the odds of a man escaping with his entire family and his entire family don't really want to go? That was another thing about it. Huh? You understand? Yeah. It was another thing about slavery. Just like a lot of us don't want to get out of Christianity. A lot of us want to stay here. We're comfortable in America. Whack 100 say, I don't care what nobody say. I'm an American. And I don't want to just live where there ain't no white people. Well, then you're an idiot. He would have been the idiot that stayed on the slave plantation. He would have been that dumbass that I would have came and said, hey, yo, you want to go? He's like, yeah, I want to go. And then, no, he would have been like, everybody would be like, yeah, I want to go. He would be like, man, I ain't no slave. I eat good. Go ahead.
So that same spirit, I mean, others, he had people following him. He won't just be him. He calls other people to stay too. I'm going to stay too.
Yeah, and then they tell on you.
Yeah.
They tell on you.
They come in.
You want to know why? They tell on you because after the master find out that a whole family left, everybody else got to pay for that. Why? So that they don't leave. Scared people, bro. Scared. Listen, liberty is something that they really was fighting for back then. They wanted to be liberated. Liberty, as you know today, ain't the same meaning. Liberty today means I could do whatever I want to do. So a black woman could just get on national TV or a national stage on social media and just show her behind after she just had a baby. And they still call her sexy red. Everybody, she thinks that's the liberty she has. She's free to do that. Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
So it was physical back then, but now it's mentally and spiritually. We're in bondage mentally and spiritually now.
God.
We decide we keeping ourselves in bondage by our actions and not obeying the laws of Christ.
God, exactly. Y'all, you wanted to say something?
So like back on that turn. Now you believe in that turn? You seen the movie in that turn?
Yeah, I read the story about it.
Yeah,
before there was a movie. Yeah, I grew up in the South. Yeah,
there's something about that I just you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's a strong connection.
You know how much courage it had to take for Runaway, bro? Just think about that.
Oh, I already know it.
You talk about 100 miles, and listen, that was just Maryland to Pennsylvania. Right, that was 100 miles for them because the plantation that my family was at was in Maryland, right? They had to pass the Mason-Dixon line to go up to Pennsylvania and all that. Remember, Maryland was a southern slave state. Virginia, North Carolina, all of them was. So, but imagine the ones that had to leave from Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia and Florida and Texas. And imagine that. And Kentucky. You understand? And Kansas. Bro, listen what I'm telling you, bro. That was in Missouri. Go ahead. On time, Christ. The water for the time check. 15 minutes left. So imagine that. Imagine having to do that. You know what type of elaborate network you had to have for the odds of you even, you had to go through rivers, bro. Would you pass over a river? A raging river? Hell no. Go ahead.
So so if you read the book, do you remember how many plantations they unalive?
It was a few of them. They really didn't get to do a lot.
Right.
It was a few of them. And I mean, it became so contagious that each plantation wanted to do it at the same time. Like they was trying to get an underground network of everybody throw over the plantation at the same time. But it was a Judas. There was a Judas involved. Always, man. Always a Judas, a coward that you thought was really about this life, really making a deal with the police.
Right.
You understand? On the left-hand side, all you cats that be out there selling these damn drugs, you think that selling drugs is the way to go until somebody die or somebody get unalive, and now they want you even more. They want you even more because now there's bodies and drugs. Somebody telling somebody, what they call it, snitching. They finna run tell it all. And then they're gonna come smile in your face and say, yeah, bro, I'm with you to the death. I'm with you to the end. And then to the world blow, GD folks. To the world blow. And then that's how you know. Now you got, what's the boy name? The GD cat that's took the stand, Kananya. What's the boy name, man? The light-skinned cat. There was KI brother. With the FBG duck case and all that. Butter. They gave him a Coke and a Italian beef and Coke. Brother, they ain't giving you no Italian beef and Coke unless you telling it.
Right.
You understand? Cigarette, Italian beef, and a Coke. He telling everything. He had time. Let me eat this real quick. I'm gonna tell you everything. $15. You understand? Go ahead.
That's like you said. I don't know that well. So I don't know if y'all seen it before, but have you ever seen Key and Peele?
I've seen it.
They got a skit where there's a dude in there snitching, and they know he's snitching because they come in with pizza, all types of
I've seen that
food and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's always common for someone in your group to snitch on you.
Bro, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna cut you off. Do you know how much 30 shekels was, bro? 30 shekels wasn't even that much back in the day. 30 shekels was like $2,000. But you got to think about the currency back then. It wasn't enough to sell out a whole movement to bring back your race. And the nigga sold out, bro. Who was walking with the nigga who was that nigga, man?
Right.
You understand? So y'all better look around. And all you got to do is say to yourself, I'll never be Judas. You want to not be Judas? Just say, I'll never be him. Even if Kananya be Judas, I ain't going to be him. I'm sorry, Kananya. I'm just playing with you, bro. Go ahead, y'all.
It makes me think of the movie, the Black Panther, Messiah and Judas.
That's the whole point. That's where they got it from.
Yeah.
But he was able to the same thing. Like, here's what you don't understand. You think our oppressors don't use this book against you? Of course they do. That whole COINTELPRO is to stop men like Commander General Yohana. Stop men who could really, really start a riot. And when I say a riot, I mean spiritually, right? He is to black people, to black people as a whole, if everybody believed on Christ, Commander General Yohana would be like that Messiah. Oh no, they want to prevent that. So there might come a time when you might get faced with the FBI telling you, hey man, listen, we taking Commander Yohana down. They won't be a part of that when we do. Man, listen, we'll give you $500,000. We'll give you your own social media deal. If you could just report, just be an informant for intelligence. We just need to know what's going on in ISUPK because I know there's something bad going on in there. You know, we've had FBI informants come into the ISUPK and act like troopers, and act like officers. Y'all didn't know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that, Kananya? You knew that? You know where they at now? They still in the school. They turned their back on the FBI, bro. They ain't no FBI no more. They here, 1 West. Oh yeah, you can get a load of hand for that. Yeah, and then you look at your enemies and you think, damn, all them niggas got to be FBI. Yeah, they are. They are FBI too. But you can't be an FBI agent and be in 1 West. It doesn't work.
Right.
After a while, you're just gonna be like, well, damn, what am I even doing here? Y'all just gonna keep paying me to do what? I'm not telling you nothing. I'm telling you, the same thing happens every week. We go to class, we teach. Nobody's on drugs. Nobody's drug dealing. Nobody's unaliving anybody. There's no illegal guns anywhere. Look, trust me, I tried. Everybody got legal guns. There's nothing illegal. They're not, selling women, and there's no harem. You know what I'm saying? There's no terrorist attack plots. Nothing of that. Go ahead.
So
Some of y'all do so. Watch the class. We talk about it.
I mean, but at the end of the day, that's what protects the ISUPK when every other group fails. Trust me, and they will. Because you see, all that swallowing that Freaky Tommy did, TD Jakes, it got his church empty. You understand? Eddie Long, he gone. Polite, he out of there. Malachi Z. York, Shalom. You know, Elijah Muhammad, Shalom. He was having sex with underage girls and babies with him and all that. Shalom. Louis Farrakhan and all of they trash. You understand? All of these places are going to fail because they do not keep the law, statute, commandments. And we got a vain and prideful nation, bro. They want to see a sign. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to see, do you have a building? Y'all got buildings everywhere. Like they said on the Whack 100 thing with Captain Zarya, we don't know where y'all buildings at. Bro, you never looked. You know what I'm saying? You never even looked. Then you Google it and then you'll make up a lie. I can Google right now before we get out of this class. You can go to your Google search engine. I still didn't get to my topic. You can go to your Google search engine on your iPhone and put ISUPK. Well, I see Atlanta. I see Indiana. I see Texas. I see Upper Darby. I see Chicago. I see everything, brother. We around. We around. So stop playing. The problem is you don't want to come here because you can't be a filthy sinner here. That's why. You just can't do it. Can't be a coward, a hypocrite to say, oh, man, y'all doing all these boot kisses. Y'all going to make these white folks mad. They going to come out here and when they start doing all this, they going to kill innocent people. Bruh, the Pirus have been killing innocent mothers for 35 years. 40 years. What you think crack cocaine did to LA? Somebody's mama was on crack, sucking somebody's ride behind a damn dumpster for a little pebble. You understand? Did so much damn crack that she is gone. She put her life on the line for it. And then it was bad batches. Bad batches. You smoked the wrong thing. It wasn't really crack, for real. You out of there. Well, holler at you. So, I mean, and then even with the gang wars, you think Pirus ain't never had no stray bullets hit nobody, grandmama, mama, kids? You understand? So don't be a hypocrite. The UPK has never done that. Ever. You mad because white people voluntarily get on their knees, bend down, and kiss the boots of the prophets and of God and the children of the slaves because they heard the truth and said, damn, I come from that race. I gotta change. Maybe I want a little bit of mercy. They don't, man, listen. What did Captain Mashak say? In the end, there will only be one West. Because blacks and Hispanics are going to look for that spot on who helped us. The Hispanics are going to say, well, Commander Yohana, he clothed 144,000 of us. You understand? The Haitians are going to say, Commander Yohana sent men and go across the border. Give me a second. I'm coming to you. He sent men across the border into cartel territory to clothe and feed and house us. Nobody else did that.
That's right.
You understand? And then they're going to say, well, those purple cats went to Africa and put all the money in Africa. They overlooked the ghetto. You understand? They overlooked us. We don't need them purple cats. Besides, they snitch. You understand? They're going to look, oh, well, these cats that wear white, they also love our oppressors. These GMF cats, they believe in R-ing little girls. You understand? They believe in R-aping little girls at 9 years old.
Wow.
They're gonna look at other people and say, oh, well, they going against the scriptures. They cover their head while they teaching. Of course, my head isn't completely covered, if you can see. Go ahead. I understand. I might go over the time. You know what I mean? So the water for the time, right? I know y'all ready to get up out of here. That's when you know a brother ready to get up out of here. He hold his hand. 5 minutes, sir. Five. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, you thought I was 5?
We just met.
Oh, no. So, in the end, it'll only be you. You the only one got the track record. And I know it might seem repetitive. The truth seems so repetitive, don't it? Ain't y'all tired of coming to class and teaching? It's, ain't no excitement in here. No, I'm not either. Cause none of y'all ain't bored. Y'all want to go to sleep a little bit. Y'all tired. Because listen, there's gonna come a time where it's more people in here that you can serve at one time, brother. And then you won't be bored. I'm not saying that you're bored, but then you'll have excitement. Because it's gonna be certain brothers that you got to put over the sisters. Y'all can handle all of that. I don't want to hear it. Y'all be over the sisters and make sure that they do what I'm telling you that they should do. And if they ain't doing it, we'll take them to counsel. We'll do like Commander Johanna did and dismiss a whole 30 women about the school. Hey, sisters, Akwathian, Imajum, stand up. They're going to think it's time to do this. Dismissed. Get out of the school. You are gone. You kicked out. Shalom. Bye-bye. It happened before. I know my history. You know what I'm saying? I know my history. It's going to be some brothers. Y'all got to be over. You know what I mean? Like, once you have a bit. Right now, we're here. We're exactly where Christ was with the men he started with. Until the men got it. And then once they got it, nothing else goddamn mattered to them except for doing the work of God. And then before you know it, it wasn't just 6 people. You understand? It was 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's 12. Okay, what will you do at 12? Let's go hit the streets. Let's go make ourselves known. We got the truth. I know we got the truth. You know we got the truth? Let's go battle. And when it went out battle, went out talk. Before you knew it, boom, it's 1,000. From 12, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Man, we really doing something now. 4,000, 5,000. Hey, get Christ that golden belt right there. 6,000, 7, and then boom, there you have it. And now you got a nation. That's all it takes. Starts here though. But yeah, that was a great scripture. He stayed forever because he didn't want to lose that family. And that's just the facts. The thing is, though, the only reason he had to stay, he didn't, like, here's the difference. I know y'all see this scripture and think, well, white people did that to us. No, they didn't. White people ain't do that to you. White people didn't give you that liberty. White people didn't treat you like a free person who entered into a contract. You entered into a contract, brother. You can't just break that without consequences. You understand?
Right.
What they did to us was different. What they did with us is they would first of all, you're stolen property. You're standing on a damn auction block, stolen property. They need you to come to their house and cut the sugar cane and pick the cotton. And what else they were doing, Ezekiel? And they cut and do the farming and the eggs and go ahead. And for the tobacco and the Mary Jane and all of that stuff. Go ahead. And till the yards and build the houses. We built the White House, right? To build the houses, you building the plantation. You also building the cabins that you're living in to build everything. They stole you, first of all. First. So then they buy and stolen property. So that's another charge. So they stole you, unalived you, put you on the auction block. People buying stolen property, and then they get you to the plantation, and then they don't treat you like a human. So if they don't like the father who got a family, they'll just grab him in the middle of the night and sell him off to another plantation, and he'll never see his family again. You don't have a choice to come and say, I want to be with my family forever. Go ahead, sis.
I have a question. So if, how can I say this? Unenlivened people has no statute of limitations. How come our persons don't get punished for their unenlivened that they have done?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. But the Lord wants the glory for it. He don't want us to get the glory for it. He wants himself to get the glory for it. The same thing with ancient Egypt. You go read in Romans chapter 9, you'll see the Lord rose them up so he could break them down, the Egyptians. Well, he rose the white man up. He's going to be the one to get rid of them, because who can make war against the beast?
Mm-hmm.
Who can defeat the white man military? Who? Right. It's not God. Yeah. That's how it's going to happen. All we got to do is just build our nation together, gather ourselves together, so that once he comes and swoop down, he can just make one stop. When them chariots swing low, one slot, just one. Gotcha. That's that.
So I have a question. So they don't hover down and we get beamed up like.
They probably do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen one, so I can't tell you what they do. You know what I'm saying? I can just tell you about what the scriptures say they do, and that's how they came and got Christ. They came in Christ. They still had to swing low and hover over him, and then took him up, and then got up out of there.
It's like so too. That's what they did. That's what the chariots did with it was Elijah, right?
That's what they did with
But he got in the whirlwind, so he was just like it might have been kind of fast, like.
Or could have not been fast.
Could
have been something that everybody saw. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, once they took him to the fourth dimension, he was never alive again. That was it. Shalom, we'll holla.
So
he wasn't flesh and blood in the fourth dimension, brother.
He had to get a spiritual.
He had to go into the spiritual plane,
the shadow realm.
The shadow realm. Yeah, but he had to go in wraith mode. You know what I mean? So I say that to say this. When it came to our slavery here in America, we didn't have a choice to be a servant. In this scripture, you read a person who had a choice to make a contract. Mm-hmm. Somebody come into a bar and say, "Can none of y'all want to hire you for a 6-year contract?" You got an option to say yeah, no. 6 years though, you got to work.
Yeah.
6 years, you got to work and complete it. This is for real. Hiring you for this. You're gonna get paid them wages, but in the middle of that, but you got a choice to say, "Nah, I don't think I want to do that. I appreciate the offer, but I ain't gonna do that. I appreciate it." You got the choice to say that. We didn't have that choice in slavery. That's the difference between a servant, somebody you hire. They didn't hire us. They didn't pay us for slavery. That was free labor. Free. We didn't get paid for that. So that's the difference. With that was in the Bible, that was a servant had a choice. Us, we had no choice. We was forced into slavery. You don't want to do it, you get beat. You don't want to do it, you get hung. You get alligator. Your baby's going to the alligator bait. You don't want to build this up for me? No sweat. Give his baby to the alligator. I bet he'll do it now. So that's the difference. And he had a choice to leave. After them 6 years was over with, he had a choice. Contract. Niggas ain't had no contract, Doc. It was from 2 years old to the day you passed away. Nothing but free, hard, rigorous labor. Until it was from the first thing you saw was picking cotton, and the last thing you died by was cotton. That was it. He had no choice. He had a choice in 6 years to say, okay, I made a family here. Now I can leave and never come back. Well, I can leave and just probably come see him every now and then. Come see him. Hey, can I come see my kids? Yeah, you come see him. Like a prince of the power. And that wife and them kids weren't treated like cattle and like shit. They was Hebrews, huh? There's laws on how you got to be with your brother and be with your son. You can't just do anything to no Israelite. Are you crazy? No. They probably had great living quarters. Great living quarters. They probably weren't living in no damn cabin with a wood bed with cotton on top of it. Nah, bro. They was living great. But the thing is, brother, you just can't take them because they're under contract, brother. You can't just do that. But what you can do is, if you want, you can come and work for me and work with your family for the rest of life. That's what you want to do. They just can't leave here. You come visit them if you want, but you can't take them with you. You know what I would do? I'd be like, you know what, brother? All right, then fine. But you got to give me some land to myself. You give me like 40, 50, 60 acres over there to the side. Me and my family, we get our own joint. I'll work for you forever. But I got to have my own little land over here too, if you don't mind. The brother might be like, all right, sweat. You got a deal. And boom, we go before the judges, and the judges say, all right, y'all agree to this contract? All right, we agree to the contract. Boom, give them that earring. They'll give you an earring, and it can't come loose. This earring don't come loose out. You understand? It doesn't have the screw back. You understand? It don't got the little clip to it. It's a one ring, and it's together. You can't just get that off. You understand? Unless you want your ear to go. You want your ear to go? Fine. Take it off then. And that was the point. Well, and I wear them hoops because I'm a servant to the Lord forever. Shalom. And with that, pass the class over to Preaching Officer Kananya.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must go get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months, after this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find that in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whichever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. We had the Feast of Purim, which is
I believe
February 22nd. Yeah, we had the Feast of Purim, which is February 22nd, from sundown to February 23rd, sundown, right? Check the bulletin board in the hallway for a reminder of those holy convocations. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That's boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or scarf. With that, men of Israel, I'm gonna give one courtesy salute to Captain,
to the teacher,
Salaki, to the teacher, man of Israel, Ahmadian Shabbat, Ahmadian, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatah.
Yahweh Shem Brakatah.
Yazatah. Turn to the sister.
Was.
Aqua Amadian. Amadian Shabbat. Amadian. Barak.
Yahweh Shamar, Shah.
Yahweh Shamar, by Shuri Shah.
Yazmata. Class dismissed.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yohana is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men in war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Serious, and you're looking for a Christ man, one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do his will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play, cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on Congo.
I don't like no soldiers. The Spirit of the Lord, we don't like no soldiers.
Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate you as the same. Hate Christ and they image, hate you as a slave. God ain't all love. Scriptures say he hate African soft niggas. They know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell, toilet connected to the saint. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dreams. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gonna work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shot. On my life, I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose.
Somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí con Lord Commander General Yohana Isupk.
This is what Commander General Yohana did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
That's right. That's right.
Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, fig D chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. You BK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he give them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'll punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now, you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them, but they are Jews. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Even though I don't know you, I'm not letting nobody
nobody selling you crack. You know why?